You're watching the RSR TV with Roy RAMSARAN. Guyanese will be going to the polls on May 11 to elect a new president and government of their choice. On May 11 is general and regional elections. Only 50 more days for elections. Here in New York City, we have the combined opposition party, Apnu Afc, is visiting and also spreading the word around. The RSR TV camera was at one of their meetings today, Sunday, March 22nd. We're presenting to you Guyanese comments after the Apnu Afc meeting here in New York City. Let's watch.
I would say that it was an excellent meeting here this afternoon in Queens. It showed that the APNU AFC coalition can go into any community all across Guyana, across the United States, wherever Guyanese are gathered, and bring the message of change. They bring the message to say to all of Guyana, all of the diaspora, that it is time for a change in our country, and it is time for David Granger and Moses Nagamutu. We had some very interesting questions that were asked, and they were properly answered by the two candidates. And I believe that the crowd that was here, a very large crowd, they felt happy that they were able to interact with their leaders, something that the PPP has not done, something that the PPP cannot do because they cannot face the people of this country because they are afraid of the people. We are about the people, we are working for the people, and the people will elect us into office on 11th of May when the elections come.
Well, the meeting was great. It showed a lot of unity, and that is what we need in Guyana. We cannot succumb to this racial thing about Apanjat and the PPP is a party of the Kuli people and all that. The coalition is a party for everybody, and that's how we have to be in Guyana. Like what it used to be before. I grew up with Indians. My father was the police. I live in all the Indian community, and I have a lot of Indian friends. We were always one. But now with all this racial conflict, it is not right. And I hope that this coalition will bring the people back together.
Actually, it's been a very informative and enlightening session. At least we get a chance to see what the opposition's vision is for Guyana. And hopefully come May 12, 2015, May 12th, we will see a change in Guyana.
Yeah, Mr. Roy RAMSARAN, I'm glad that you are here. And I know you're always on the borderline, but now I have seen you have gone on the PPP side for good. I don't know for what reason, but you know the coalition is winning this election. The surprise guest we got last night in New Jersey was Mr. Joey Jagan. His father, right, said it plain. Mr. Joey Jagan said they are not keeping up his father's legacy. They are using the PPP as their weapon to win this election. They can, because everybody in Guyana knows that the PPP cannot win this election, right? Jagre was talking about kicking asses, but look at who's kicking asses now. Moses was right to tell him he needs Pampers to cover his mouth, right? He's creating a dictatorship and supporting a dictatorship, right? With Moses, with Lamutar, I'm sorry. Moses Nagamutu, our prime ministerial candidate, and Brigadier David Granger is going to be the swearing president 5/12/15, right? For the new leaders of our Guyana. We as foreigners can go back and take our children and grandchildren in the future to go back to Guyana safe and sound, and don't worry to watch your back.
Well, it is my view that if people hate each other, they will never make progress. And any coalition that you can remove the PNC from is worthwhile voting for, because in very simple language, it is time for a change. Remember, Apnu is the derivative of the PNC, and we all concede that. But who is the PNC? The PNC was born from the PPP. When you had the Jaganites and the Bornamites during the factions. It was Chedi Jagan also who gave Bornam critical support. So people should not knock any coalition, because all these things are done for the benefit of Guyana. In my view, it is time for a change.
It was a pleasure being here today to listen to both Granger and Nagamutu express about the future of Guyana. I really feel that they did an excellent job, and they expressed some very good and valid opinions about what's needed to create change in Guyana. for the first time in a long time, I'm very pleased with what I heard from Guyanese politicians. They were honest, they talk about historical facts, and they presented their case very eloquently. They made me proud of being a Guyanese, not an Afro, Indo, Amerindian Guyanese, but a Guyanese. I was very proud to be here.
We're all AFC supporters. We support the coalition. Victory for the coalition on May 11th. Guyana has to move forward. Guyana has to change.
And this is the best thing that has ever happened to Guyana.
This is the best thing that has happened to Guyana's politics in the last 50 years.
And we support Nagamutu
and Granger.
David Granger.
We're supporting a
we want
better
them
Guyana.
to win this election.
And we also support unity.
And we want them to bring unity in Guyana so we can have
it is time.
a progressive Guyana.
And the time is now.
And right now is the time, and we must have change.
Enough
Change.
with the corruption,
Change.
enough with ineptitude, enough with bad governance.
And bring all those who would fall to justice.
Yes. And those criminal elements.
Yeah. And now we can get rid of corruption.
Yes, definitely.
And get rid of those people who is blackened the PPP party.
Yes.
Those
Dr. Jagan would be turning over in his grave.
Yes, to see those.
To see what Jagdeo and his clan has done
to this Guyana. Jagdeo still has the reins.
That's right.
And he's pulling the strings with that presidential person right now.
Yes.
I don't want to say his name because his name is not meaningful.
But we're going to have a new president soon. President Granger and Prime Minister Nagamutu.
Change.
I would tell the coalition to seize the mansion of Jagdeo. That's the taxpayers' money.
Yes.
That build the mansion.
We want a new Guyana.
Yes.
With all the birds flying high.
I think it's the best thing that ever happened to Guyana in the last 50 years. I think there's a great chance of racial harmony, progress and prosperity for Guyana. And I really think that people should embrace that union, the APNU, AFC.
You not call me and then...
Thank you.
Yes, I just want to say that I attended this meeting to get some information to see what the coalition is all about. It was a very successful meeting, very crowded. People paid attention attentively to what was going on. My only hope is that Guyana can move forward despite whoever wins this election on May 11th, and that we could progress for the betterment of our children in Guyana.
Yes, I like how the meeting was here today. I like the coalition. Moses, especially when he made his speech and said, never see a government in power picketing opposition. That was a big thing for me, you know. That stirred the crowd up. And, you know, he did well, speak well. I like David Granger, a man with many years of security on his belt. And a combination to it, Moses and David, I think they're going to move Guyana forward. Thank you.
The coalition is what we've been seeking for a long time. Guyana can't succeed with a division. And the AFC, APNU, and all the other clusters of political organizations that's joined together has given us an opportunity, the possibility of securing again what we would so dearly need, which is unity. Development will come with all of our shoulders together. This meeting here was a coalition to me. And like I told Nagamutu, I said, I told him that my own opinion of him has changed tremendously because his speech touched me really where it was, personally. I listened to Mr. Granger. I will always know Mr. Granger because we worked together for the last elections. And Mr. Granger's heart is where it is. He has the focus, and this is a tremendous team. We can do it. And I'll be there to help them get there. You know what I'm saying? That is it. What I want is simple and direct. Thank you.